Alright. That sounds spooky. Honey Jeff, thank you so much. Hang on, let me get my board. Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. That's so... Oh, 11 months. That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold up. Let me get my board. Really setting the mood. I don't know where best to put it. Gosh dang it, hold up. There. You can't really read it, but it's there. How are we going? Hello. Welcome. I hope you like the scary ambience that I've chucked on. These are my new pajamas. Hey! Welcome. They're super cute. They got Snoopy on them. Peter Alexander, very nice. They have pockets. Look at that. Very cool. I love it. I love it. So much. Pajamas with pockets. So good. Okay. Now my spooky music's a bit loud. Hold up. But yes, I love Snoopy so much. Everyone knows this. So my parents came home with a special surprise for me, and it was so great. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for today. It has been like... Okay. Spooky music. Hush. It's been like... Well, 1 year since I last did this, Snoopy Gang. I did, yeah, it was like pretty much exactly 1 year ago was reading cringy stories I wrote at 14. And we're doing it again. I remember I got my first ever donation that stream. It was $1 and I had 2 people watching me. It was really cool. So here we are again. Hey! How's it going? I'm not prepared. Well, I am prepared. But I'm not. I fancied myself a bit of an author at 14. I gotta get you a 1080p camera. I'm sorry! I'm sorry. Omega Kai, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you. So when I was 14, I fancied myself a bit of a writer, and I would, this seems like this is a change of setting. Welcome to my humble bed. But yeah, I would write on Wattpad all the time. So I'm going back, and to get into the spooky Halloween mood, we're gonna read some of the scary stories I wrote on Wattpad as a kid. Which is gonna be horrific. But first, let me know how you guys are going, honestly. Also, I have fairy lights up, although they... Oops, 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 oops. I'm sorry, laptop. I didn't mean to wet you. I'm sorry. It's good. I'm so close to falling. It's fine. Kind of like the cozy chill vibes. I'm glad. Yeah. We've always got to start off with some kind of disaster, right? Okay, Let me go very carefully this time. Wetting the bed at 20. Shut up! Look, technically, yes, it was me who wet the bed, but I didn't wet the bed. There's a difference between wetting the bed and wetting the bed. Okay. Well, there's a wet spot there now. I have to cover that up. If you just jumped in, it's from water, okay? Wait, are you 21? Yes, I am 21. What, did you think I was 30? I thought you were 1999. Yeah, I'm like right at the end. So I'm turning 22. Like, it's still like over a month away. It's still a while. Yeah, you're born in December. We still got a little ways to go before my actual birthday. I will be doing a birthday stream and whatnot, so that should be good. But yeah, I was born 5 days before Christmas. So I have a lot of presents coming. That's exciting. I know one of my presents already, but like, check my memory, mate, you see? Got a good memory. It was good. Alright. Let me... wonder if I can do this. Aha! Right, I've popped out my chat, so hopefully I can have chat still up while I'm reading these terrible stories. Here's a present, virtual burger. Thank you. Alright. I'm surprised I managed to remember my login. Okay, if you do exclamation mark cringe right now, you will see a command that was made last year that relates to what we're doing. December gang, heck yeah! October gang is better. Oh, look, bro teases October gang. There's our cringe command. Yeah, alright. So we're gonna start off with the first ever story I wrote. I hope you're excited. November gang. Oh, everyone's having their birthday soon. That's so great. October gang, happy birthday. For whenever your birthday was, I hope you had the best day ever. Hey Choo Choo, welcome. I hope you're wearing your pajamas because that's mandatory. You're not allowed to join if you're not wearing your pajamas. It's the rules. May gang. November gang doesn't exist, don't cap. Who's born in November? November is a false month. I'm not wearing any pants though. That could count as pajamas, I suppose. Thank you so much for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day. But I'm in the office, so I'm getting weird looks. Look, as long as you're not arrested, it's not illegal, right? They can judge you all they like. But if you're not arrested, what's the big deal? What's the harm? Nothing. October gang are the children of Valentine's Day. I thought the children of Valentine's Day were November. I don't know. I can't do the maths on that. The babies and whatnot. Kinda both? Yeah. Alright. So this is the first ever story I wrote. I think I was about... Well, not that I ever wrote. I wrote a whole bunch of stories as a kid, but this is the first story I ever published. It's very short. I had a bit of a read through it beforehand because I was super curious. Ooh, Feb 13. I basically wrote a story about a nice guy. This is the most neckbeard story ever. Oh my goodness. But here we go. The shiver travels down your spine, slowly creeping down from your neck. It says you neck. Slowly creeping down from your neck. But I'm gonna edit it so it sounds good, okay guys? You are being watched. Or at least, you feel as if you are. But don't worry, it's just me. I'm the guy on the street the other day. I'm sure you didn't notice me. You never do. It's kind of sad, really. But you'll notice me soon. You will have to notice me. Well, you have noticed me. You're reading this, aren't you? Don't bother looking around, as you can't see me. I'm well hidden. For the moment. Great actor, thank you very much. So there is my very neckbeard story. Please, rate it out of 10. I would like you to rate all of my stories out of 10. Give me rating. Does tech make us smart or dumb? Both. We have unlimited access to information, but also information can be censored, and we choose to look at dumb information instead of smart information. Everyone's still debating Valentine's Day. Alright, there's also author's notes. This one says, okay guys, I know this one isn't the best. It'll get better as I go on. Wait, I had a first time chat. Hello. Hello. No one's rating my story and I'm hurt. Anyway. Okay, this one, I was at someone's 14th? I think they were older than me and I was at their party. I was 14, but I was at a party and everyone was rating 3.2, 420, thank you very much. Oh hey, you just got here, how's it going? It is going pretty well. We're reading very cringe stories and I'm having a great time. Okay, so I was at a party for this one and we were all telling scary stories around a campfire and I read this one out and people were like, oh my goodness, that's so good. And I was like, oh, thanks guys. I don't think it's good now, but I do vaguely remember this one, so we shall see. Rating 7.125. Alright, this one is called In the Womb. Sorry, don't know the rules. The rules are just don't be a jerk, no shovels, and we're reading stories and rate it afterwards. They're bad. They're all bad ones I wrote when I was 14 years old. So you have heard about those people who eat their twins in the womb? I'm one of those. No, not the one who ate my twin. I'm the one who was eaten. Imagine seeing through someone else's eyes, not being able to have any control. You're just stuck in the emotional turmoil of being trapped in a body that's not yours. You hear them talk. You see them make an absolute fool of themselves, knowing that you yourself could have done a better job if you just had a chance at life. But they stole your body. You were not allowed to live, just to watch and wait. Sometimes, if you concentrate really hard, you can cause twitches, but that's about the extent of your capabilities. But I have recently discovered something. Sometimes I can cause thoughts. The little voice that tells you to jump when you're high up, that's me. The little voice that says you're nothing, that's me. Now I just thought I'd warn you. Enjoy yourself while you can, because I'm about to make you a life hell. The rules are wear PJs. Yes, sorry, I forgot that rule. The rule is also wear pajamas because it's like a sleepover scary. Oh, this one has a comment on it. So here's a comment from 2016 saying, my life is already hell. And there's one from 2019. I didn't know people were still reading my stories kind of recently. I'm kind of creeped out by this because my mother has told me that I was more likely supposed to have a twin sister, but when I came out, more blood was the outcome. So I actually scared someone with that. I'll take that as a win, alright? Cue movie music 6.2. The rules are blame Tang as well. Yeah, anything that goes wrong, blame Tang. Okay, fair, good. Alright, what's the next part? A question of the week. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Don't answer that right now in chat, okay? Because that's tomorrow night's stream. If you go to the Google form in my Discord and fill it out, that's what we're doing. I'm reacting to the scariest things that happened to you, so don't answer that right now or else. Hey! There's a scary game I made up that totally doesn't work. Someone's like, is it real? Alright. Oh, this one's super long. Okay, I'll go with this one. Let me just... Okay, I have to fill it out. Yes! Please fill it out, because at the moment, we have like one submission, and I'm like, that's not gonna make a whole stream. Gosh dang it, guys. Tell me your scary stories. Or else, yes. I'm not telling you else what yet. You'll have to wait and see for that one. Alright. This is way too low. I wish my laptop was like here. Alright, this one is called The Diary. But I have never gotten scared. Well, only when you yell at me. Tell me something from a family member then. Surely someone you know has had like something true crime-ish, paranormal happen to them. Pillows? I should. Alright. These are all diary entries, this one. Right, the vague threat. I have the diary for you, sir. Good. It might shed some light on what happened that night. This is called, then it says, Alicia's diary. 2nd of the 4th, 2014. 10:23 a.m. Dear diary. My friend Abby has invited me over for a sleepover tonight because it's her 12th birthday. I can't wait to be 12. She's so lucky. I also can't wait for the sleepover. It'll be the 3rd sleepover I've ever been to. I'm really excited. I have to go pack. 4:50 p.m. Dear diary, I'm about to leave for the sleepover. Abby called me and said we might play some scary games. That's so exciting. I have never played a scary game before. She also said it was pizza for dinner tonight and burgers tomorrow. My favorites. I can't wait to see Abby. She's my best friend. And all my other friends too, like Steph, Casey, and Jess. I have to go. My mum's calling me. 8:49 p.m. Dear diary, we're waiting for Abby's parents to go to sleep so we can play a game. There are 2 people who I haven't met before here, Stella and Caitlin, but they're really nice. Steph, Casey, and Jess are here too. The pizza was really yummy. Hey, welcome. 9:37 p.m. Dear diary, we have waited so long and they're almost asleep, but I'm really tired and not sure if I'll be able to stay awake to play. Never mind. Abby, Caitlin, and Jess snuck downstairs for some lollies and fizz. I'll stay awake for now, for sure. So when I was a kid, I used to call soft drink fizz. So that's what, but lollies and fizz just means lollies and soft drink. Thank you both for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're both having an absolutely wonderful day. Australia's worst serial killers from my town, if that counts. That is so cool. Hey, Sparky. Cool, but maybe bad. Submit it in my Discord. Have you not sorted a COVID lockdown scenario? It almost writes itself, or is that the problem? Cute PJs, thank you! They have Snoopy on them, they're very cool, and they have pockets. Alright, continuing this terrifying story. 10:24 p.m. Dear diary, we played a weird game called Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board. It was kind of creepy, but so cool. Because it was her birthday, Abby was the person laying down. Steph was at the head and the rest of us gathered around. We had to chant funny things over and over. It didn't work the first couple of times because we kept getting distracted, but we were able to do it. She floated up in the air, held by only a few fingers, and landed with a crash when we realized what was happening. It was like a trance. I think that's the word at least. Yes, PJs. It's in the rules. 12:13 p.m. Dear diary, Abby is acting funny. We tried to speak to her and ask her if she's okay, but she just giggled. She's been walking around, dragging her feet behind her, scratching the walls as she walks around the room. She's covered in dirt. We tried to go and get her parents, but they weren't there. I don't know where they went, but there was funny red smudges on the carpet. They were probably eating red jelly and just spilled some. 12:35 p.m. Dear diary, Abby is getting weirder and weirder. She is no longer walking around, but sitting down, staring at the wall, humming weird-sounding songs. She's rolling her head round and round, like she was trying to keep it up, but just can't. We're all very scared. I wish Mummy was here. 12:46 p.m. Dear diary, she's gone. Abby's gone. We can't find her anywhere. We know she's still here because we can hear footsteps and the occasional giggle. Is it only me or can I barely hear what she's saying? Should I scooch forward? I can let. Okay, there's like 4 entries left in this story. It's so flipping long. Dear Diary, the only ones left are Steph, Jess, and I. We're still in this room. The others haven't returned back yet. Steph said we should split up and hide in case something happened. I'll hide in the closet. 1:29 a.m. Dear Diary, I got in the closet fine. I didn't run into any trouble, but I heard screams. I think they were from Jess. It's real squishy in here, but I feel safe. I hope Mummy's here to pick me up soon. Dear Diary, I tried to go find my friends and help them, but I shouldn't have. Blood. 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 Blood everywhere. Blood on the walls. Blood running down the stairs. And in the room we were sleeping were the bodies of my friends lined in a row. I hid in the bathroom when I heard footsteps coming. I'm really scared. They stopped right outside the door and I haven't heard any more since. 1:50 a.m. I love you, Mummy. I love you, Daddy. I'll miss you. Here's a comment from 2017 that says, oh my goodness, I'm terrified. I feel like there is someone or something watching me, but I'm in a room by myself leaning on the door. Oh. Look, other teenagers enjoyed my stories. That's all I could have asked for. A bunch of random garbage. Hold up, I'm trying to find another story. Oh! Okay, I have another one. I'm sorry that I'm quiet. I don't know how to fix it. Hey, Tongue Punching, welcome. How are you going? Okay. This one is called So Itchy. And I'm sure that can be taken in a number of ways. Sounds reasonable here? Okay. That's good. Alright. I'm itchy. So itchy. The itchiness began around a large cut on my forearm. But since then, it has spread. Almost crawled all over me. I try not to scratch. It'll make it worse, they say. But I'm so itchy. I give in, scratching, ripping through my skin. It hurts, but I can't stop. I'm so itchy. But as I look down, a scream erupts from my lips as I see hundreds of tiny black ants pour out of my arm. That's it. That's the whole story. Rating out of 10, please. Welcome, Third Eye Alien. How is it going? Oh, gotta love it. I was expecting spiders for a second there because frankly, I don't remember these. It's been so many years. Oh, I also did questions in this book. How would you survive the purge? Feel free to answer that in chat, honestly. 6.4. Ooh! That short story got answered. It's a 6.4. I'm feeling good about that then. Good Michael help? Yeah, look, I'm currently on my phone. I do have a PC. It's right there. But the internet has been so horrible that I haven't been able to use it. So I'm streaming on phone data with my phone. Big sad. At the ocean is where I survived the purge. Genius. Use Tang as bait and run. Perfect solution. 10 out of 10. R.I.P. Moderator Tang. Okay. This one is called The Night. Driving at night is peaceful. The soft light pierces the dark, casting everything in a warm glow. Driving by yourself at night is a different matter altogether. The shadows seem to almost come alive, reaching out for you, alone in a blackness that threatens to engulf you. Driving at night always makes you feel unsettled, but tonight is especially bad. With every minute, you become more and more unsettled. You lock the doors and focus on the road ahead, or at least what you're able to see from the small amount of light that your dodgy car emits. A flash of white on the side of the road. A figure? No. Fear does funny things to the mind. You ride in silence on a road seemingly never-ending darkness. You see it again. It seems closer. It couldn't be, you tell yourself. Stop being silly. You need to control yourself. You drive slower, just in case something or someone is there. You want to see it or them. You drive for ages, and just when you tell yourself to give up, to stop looking for something that's not there, you see it. It's definitely a figure. Just maybe not a human one. It stands at the edge of the road, now emerged out of the tree line. It's definitely coming closer. Fear grips your heart. Panic fills your body. You do the only thing you can think of. You slam your foot on the accelerator so that you can make it back home safe. You speed along, every second feeling longer than last, every heartbeat speeding up. Suddenly, you slam on your brakes to avoid hitting the figure, now standing centimeters from your car. It's not like anything you've seen before. Its naked, pale flesh sags, and black ooze drips out of its bulbous eyes. You reverse the car and screech away, hardly being able to make sense of anything around you. When you're home safe, you sink into the bed, feeling the comfort of the covers around you. You turn over and face the window, realizing that you forgot to shut the curtains. A handprint of the same black ooze is on the glass. You shiver, then freeze as you feel a thin, cold hand trail down your back. I actually rate that one. I think 14-year-old me had that one right. I don't know, I like it. I'm rating that a 10, knowing the kind of garbage that I wrote at 14. I'm rating that scary story a 10. I like it. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up with you? Nothing much, just reading scary stories. How are you going? And Third Eye Alien, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. 8.3 sounds like my ex-wife. Cold hands trailing up your back. Yeah, I'm decently impressed with my young self. Where's another one? So many questions of the week. Nobody cares past me. Oh, me advertising my actual full-length book. Oh, that was bad. My full-length book was bad. I remember writing this one. Oh my goodness. Okay. I remember these better than I thought I would. Some of them I've completely forgotten, and it's like reading them for the first time ever. But I do remember this one. Okay, this one is called My First. His face was illuminated by the orange light of the sunset. He smiled, moving closer towards me on the checkered picnic mat. Nerves raced through me. This was the first time I had ever done something like this. Was I ready? It was too late to change my mind. I had to be ready. He was already leaning in towards me, softly pulling my face towards him with a gentle hand. As his gaze met mine, I knew it was time, and as he leaned in towards me, I slowly picked up the cake knife at my side and rammed it into his neck. Did you get baited by that one? Because young me was like, oh, I'm gonna get so many people with this one, they're gonna think it's a romance, and then stab. I'm gonna rate that one like a 4. Wow, who hurt you? Hey, are you wearing a black thong? No, if you're seeing something black, that would be the bow on my pants. My bow. Choo Choo seems personally victimized by that story. Yes I am, how did you guess? Wow, no pants and a black thong. Your workmates are blessed today, honestly. Oh. Okay. I see an author's note at the start of this one, and I'm kind of scared. I saved my red one for the weekend. A good idea, honestly. You don't want to let it go to waste. There is an author's note at the start of this one that says, this is a bit of a weird one. Sorry about that. There have already been so many weird... What do I mean that was a weird one? This one is called Scratches. Strap in, guys. This is a weird one. Look, I would have said the last one was weirder, but, you know, apparently this one is define weird. I was trying my best. Look, I think it was like year 7 or 8. I was like 13, I think, when I wrote this story in English class. Not this one, but a story in English class, based on a photo of a guy in a hat, and I had him discover this secret lair where it was like a twisted Snow White story, and the 7 dwarves were like harvesting the blood of orphans. Harvesting the blood of 40 orphans, to be specific, so they could raise Snow White again. Like, that is so depressing, dark, and disgusting. Oh my goodness. But I remember my English teacher coming up to me and being like, "We can tell you really tried with this one." I'm surprised they didn't stick me in flipping counselling or something. It's from your minds, can't ever be boring. Sounds logical, I never trusted those dwarves. No, don't trust the dwarves, especially if you're not an orphan. I think I made their logic, like, flawed, but it's not even redeemable. I think that the dwarves were like, they're orphans, so there's no one left to love them anyway. Oh, 13-year-olds are dark. This was before I started publishing, so sounds like a very twisted Sweeney Todd, maybe Weenie Todd. Oh, how do you know you're not in counselling right now? Is this really your family? Yeah. Everyday life is just one massive intervention. Nothing is real. Like, now that's a twist. Mom, do you love me? Only because I'm paid to. Good stuff. Alright, water break. Alright, let's go. What are we reading? Scratches, the weird one. Alright. I'm prepared. I'm not. I'm really not. Time is a flat circle. I was like, huh? How can a circle be flat? And then I was like, oh, I'm thinking of a sphere. Alright, that was hard. Yeah, just keep hard looking next to me, right? Time is a pancake. Hear me out. But pancakes are really good as like a lunch food, potentially, but overrated as a breakfast food. I can't eat sweet stuff so early in the morning. Like, as a person with an obvious sugar addiction, like, how? I just can't eat pancakes in the morning. It's just kind of gross. Like, my favorite thing to eat for breakfast is like last night's leftovers, and I constantly get in trouble with mum going like, that was our lunch, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I ate it for breakfast. But yeah, my favorite thing for breakfast is last night's leftovers, because I just cannot do sweet things for breakfast, or dry cereal, because I don't like cereal with milk. So I either eat dry cereal, nothing, or leftovers. Pancake is perfect for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pikelets are good, Michael. I love pikelets, actually. But, like, plain pikelets are my favorite. I'm disgusting. You take that back. Time is not made out of lines, it's made of circles. That's why clocks are round. I've seen a square clock before. Can you explain square time? Okay, let me actually get to what I'm supposed to be doing. Scratches. The weird one. Dry cereal, I'm both scared and invested, especially Fruity Bites. I've been having Nutri-Grain recently though, but like not cereal. Not like oats and whatever. I can't eat oats dry, but like other cereal. Okay, March. I love my new house. It's the best house on the street. It's big, it's got a big yard, and the neighbours don't bother me at all. I haven't even seen them. The only problem I have is that no matter how often I vacuum, no matter how hard I clean, there is always small piles of soil around my house. I don't know why they're there, but I always know I have to clean them up every morning and every afternoon after work. April. It's beginning to really bother me. Why is there always dirt? I'm so sick of all the dirt. Where is it coming from? I think I might hire a cleaner to come once a week. They might be able to fix the problem. May. I fired the cleaner. She'd only been working here for 3 weeks, and the piles of dirt every day were much smaller. But I found all these funny scratches around the house. I'm sure it was her. I'll have to find a new cleaner. June. Every cleaner I have hired has quit. I guess I'll have to go back to cleaning up the dirt piles myself. When I was walking around the house yesterday, I thought there were more scratches than before. I can't be sure though. July. I'm beginning to get worried. Why does no one come near my house? Why have I never seen the neighbours? Why are there still piles of dirt? Why are there more scratches on the floor? Why do I wake up with bloody sheets and scratches all over me? Unknown. She's in my house. She's dirty. I can't leave. I can't go to work. My phone is gone. I'm stuck here. Where am I? Am I in the basement? She's here. She's old and dirty. She scratches. Ouch, ouch. She scratches. She scratches. Officer White. I closed the ratty leather-bound book. I was no closer to finding out what happened to Elizabeth Mason. I looked around me. The basement walls were covered in blood. Dried, crusty blood was splattered all over the floor and walls. It was the most horrific crime scene I had ever seen in the odd 15 years that I had been working in the police force. The most horrifying thing about this particular case was the way her body was found. It was found 5 days after her death by one of the neighbours who was curious about the smell. Her elderly neighbour, an old woman, who was clothed in dirty garden wear from tending to her plants, said that Elizabeth was always a bit of a recluse, rarely ever seen outside the house, never actually stepping out of her yard, and was often spotted madly pacing back and forth in her house at night, and could be seen digging in the garden with her bare hands. The neighbour described that sometimes at night screams could be heard coming from the house. The body was torn open, and the skin from her torso lay neatly to her sides, displaying her internal organs. Gross! At first, the death was ruled a suicide. After all, it seemed obvious that she was completely mad. But something puzzled me. Why was the basement door locked from the outside? I hate Scarlet. Dry Oats is my nickname on the weekends. So how did she die? Murder? Suicide? What do you think? Leave a comment. And the comment said, ghost. Oh my goodness. Icky. Alright. Are there more stories? My thing is refusing to load for a second. Hold up. An error has occurred. Good. Excellent. We're still going here, right? So no happy stories, I guess. The aborted twin broke me. Only dark, death and despair. I know. I did say scary stories I wrote at 14 though, to be fair. I think. Look, there was one romance story that I read last year where it had a whole kissing scene, which still makes my skin crawl to this day. Maybe I'll read that if you're lucky. It's horrific. It's so horrible to read years later. It's like 14-year-old me describing this like it's horrendous. So yeah. Stop staring into my soul. Thanks. I'm sorry. I was trying to read the other chat because this one is broken. Just okay. I think it's working now. Yes. Hello? Yeah! Okay. That does remind me of a quote from Cowboy Bebop's Jet character. Really, there is nothing as pure and cruel as children. Apparently. I have a sneeze. It's not coming. Alright. This one is called Mummy, I'm Scared. This starts off with an author's note. Again, guys, I'm Australian, and this is how we spell it, so don't correct me. E.g., mommy, or that's not how you spell that. Thanks! Alright, sassy. Well, sassy, I know! 14-year-old me is the worst version of myself to exist, but she had a lot going on, to be fair, so we'll give her a pass on being annoying. Passive-aggressive. Mummy, I'm scared, my daughter whispered to me as we hid in the closet. It's okay, I said, giving her a quick hug. Quiet now, I think he's coming. We sat in silence, listening to the quiet thumps of footsteps from elsewhere in the house. My heart raced as the footsteps came closer. He must have noticed that we were here. Maybe we didn't hide well enough. My hands began to shake. I clenched my fists so my daughter didn't notice my nerves. He was coming closer and closer. I could hear him opening and closing things in other rooms. It was about to all be over. Are you ready? I whispered. My daughter got into position, ready to burst out of the closet. The footstep came into the room and stopped in front of the closet. The doors slowly opened. I was so proud. My daughter burst out of the closet and rammed the knife straight into his stomach. It was all over. As his blood spilled around him, I sighed. It was a shame. His carpet was so nice. Welcome! Sorry, first time chatter. Welk. Take the scream mask out of your mouth. Oh, okay. Oh, there's one comment. It says, oh my goodness, I'm Australian as well. Good stuff. Good. Hopefully you're gonna load, right? Next part. Ooh. This one's called Revenge. Alright. You hate them. Don't pretend you don't. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Deep inside you, you know. You want them to suffer. Stop pretending. I know you do. What am I trying to do? Inspire cereal? What the heck is this? Embrace it. Let the anger flow through. I know you fantasize about running a smooth shot. Flipping heck! Slowly across their neck. Why do they have it and you don't? Why does everyone like them and not you? Embrace the anger. Let it boil inside you. Soon you'll have your chance. Soon. Thank you for following. Let the anger flow through you, join the dark side. I know you want them dead. You're just too afraid to do it. You don't want people to hate you. You spent all your time working so hard to make people like you. But if they're always a step ahead of you, always better, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to become the killer people already suspect you are. Your time has come. Time for revenge. Oh my goodness. Oh, is this like Teeny Bopper Star Wars? Yes. Basically, oh my goodness. Don't get mad, get stabby. Too late. I swear, 14-year-old me accidentally inspired someone to kill. Oh my. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm gonna move on real quick because that was horrific. That was real horrific. This is a light-hearted one. This is not so dark and horrible. This is called Scary Stories Written by a 7-year-old. Basically what I did is I asked Tiny Tease, when he was 7, to dictate stories to me, and I typed them as he told them. So this is a scary story told by a 7-year-old. It should be really funny. Should be great, honestly. Maybe a nice step back from the torment that my 14-year-old self has put you through. That could be interesting, Auntie Jeff. Interesting. I don't remember, so I'm not sure. Hey, Stuart here. I'm good. I'm moving out end of November. It'll also be fun. Supernova Brisbane is coming. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. That's awesome. I love Supernova. I missed the Sydney one though, because COVID. So Hannibal T's like, I'm not crazy, okay? Alright. So remember, this is, wait. Thank you for 60 bits. You're going on my board, honestly. I appreciate the comment. Yes, why not? Could be a funny joke. I know my board is awfully far away, but I don't have a good spot to put it when I'm streaming from my bed, okay? I'm sure 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Okay. So, this is a story written by Tiny Tease, my little brother, when he was 7. Let's go. There was this forest and hunters, like the hunters were hunting deer and all these other animals. They were bad and killed heaps of people. They were also mysterious. They were thieves, and they went to this house, and it was like a haunted castle. And they went in there to kill people because they thought it was a normal house, but it was actually just a haunted house. And they went in because they didn't really know what it was. It was raining. As soon as they stepped in there, they got freaked out, and it was dark, and they thought, is this the room with the animals? Because it's too dark for animals. The thieves were named Max and Joseph, and they thought, this is way too dark for animals. Maybe they're in a different room. And they were scared, so they kept on going, and they went through one room, and there was a zombie in there, and he was moaning like a regular zombie, like, mrrr. And so they got really scared and slammed the door and moved on. And so they ran into another room, and one said, Max, did you see that? And Max said yes, and Joseph said, that did not happen, did it? But in this room, there was a skeleton on the floor and bats, and the skeleton's eyes were red, and then hissed, and its eyes glowed, and he started walking back to them, so they got their knife out and said, stay back, we have a knife. But the skeleton kept on going, and so they got scared, and he was so close, and they went out and slammed the door, and the door hit the skeleton, and the bones fell down on the floor. They talked. Max said, is something going on? Joseph said, I don't know what's going on, but I think this house is haunted. So they sat on the lounge and were shaking like crazy, and Max said, we need to investigate to see if it's haunted. As if the skeleton didn't give it away. The lounge room was the worst, and it was so dark, and mysteriously behind Max something came out with big red eyes, and he was about to eat Max's head off, and Joseph said, Max, look out. Max turned his head and he saw the monster, and they stood up backed against the wall, and Joseph whispered, what do we do now? And Max said, I don't know. And they just ran out and jumped a window and climbed down the wall and never killed a thing again. The end. Thank you, brother. Honestly, scary stories by a 7-year-old was the favorite thing to do. Like, we would tell each other scary stories. I did get in trouble a few times because I gave him nightmares. To be fair, looking back, it's not okay to tell scary stories to your 7-year-old brother. But that was great. Sounds like a Walking Dead plotline. There was an average zombie in here going, mrrr. Yeah, that does sound like The Walking Dead. Please rate that out of 10. I would rate that a 12 out of 10 because that was just better than any story I have ever written myself, honestly. Well, not the stories you told. My goodness, I got scared at those. Oh, 11.5. Tiny Tease. an absolute author. I think there's one more somewhere as well. There you go. Oh. I can't find the next scary stories with the 7-year-old. That's unfortunate. But at the same time, we're almost done this book, and then I can read the dumb romance stuff that I wrote, including the kissing scene, which makes me want to die. Okay, this one is called Dr. Parks. I think this is because when I was 13 to 14, I had braces, and my dentist's name was Dr. Pack. So I think this is Dr. Parks. So yes, this is about a dentist. So if you have dentist phobia, I don't know if he's a killer. I don't exactly remember much about this, but yeah, we'll see. He might be. Knowing my track record, he might be a killer. I don't know though. I winced as I bit down on the wrong side, momentarily forgetting about the annoying hole in my tooth. I finished off the rest of my sandwich the best I could before heading off to my 1 o'clock dentist appointment. Nerves raced through me as I sat fidgeting in the waiting room. I had never been great at the dentist, but it made it worse that I had just moved to a new state and never even met the guy before. May Caliente? What kind of... Right, her name is May Caliente. The dentist nurse asked as she emerged from one of the rooms. Yes, that's me, I said, standing up ready to follow her. Dr. Parks will see you now, she said, motioning for me to follow her. I walked along the white hallway, peering into the rooms as I went along, shivering at the sound of drills buzzing. I walked behind the nurse into a room I was to be treated in. I let out a breath. There was nothing to worry about. It was almost exactly like the one I used to go to. A man who I assumed was Dr. Parks walked in. He gave me an uneasy feeling as he loomed over me. His dark, intense eyes met mine. Have a seat, Miss Caliente, he said in a monotone voice. Oh, sorry. Have a seat, Miss Caliente, he said in a monotone voice, almost staring me down. I lowered myself into the chair and the nurse started to pull the glasses and bib on me. So we're getting a filling today, he said, glancing at his computer. Which side is the tooth? It's left side up the top. That was actually where I had a hole in my tooth at that time. Oh, I'm incredible. Is that good night? I said, pointing to the area. He lowered the chair and prepared to start giving me a filling. I mentally prepared myself for the needle and squeezed my eyes shut when it came time to inject it. I felt the numbness seize not only my mouth, but my entire body. My eyes shifted, but I couldn't move. I tried to call out, but no sounds escaped my lips. She's got some nice teeth, Dr. Parks said, nodding at the nurse. They'll make some nice dentures, she replied with a nod. Fear overtook me as he pulled out a large set of pliers. I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the shine of the pliers. My blank, emotionless face stared back at me. I internally screamed with every tooth he pulled out. The wild look in his eyes terrified me, and I was powerless against anything he did to me. Last one, he said as he wrenched the pliers towards him. The nurse swooped in and started sucking up the blood from that tooth. Don't bother, he said as he picked up another needle, this one filled with straw-coloured liquid. We're done with her now. A single tear slipped out of one of my eye as he jammed the needle into my neck. A lot of neck jamming going on in this. I felt the tear roll down my neck as everything faded to black. I know this is kind of a strange one, but it was inspired by my dentist visit today. It was inspired by my I promise you none of my dentist visits were that bad. P.S. If you would like your name mentioned in any story, feel free to leave a comment. What the hell happened to you in your teeth? I don't know. How is that in any way inspired by my dentist visit? Oh my goodness. Yay. There's like... no, that's a sad story. I don't want a sad story. Never the same. Okay, this is the last scary story we're reading before we move on to the actual horrific cringe. Okay. You're the man of the house now. My grandmother's words swirled in my mind. I gripped the rough wooden rail of the stairs that led to the attic. When I was a child, I hated the attic. Nothing had changed. I switched on my torch. The click echoed in the dark room. I shone the light around, searching for the string that turned the lights on. The thin white strand dangled before my eyes. I gave it a tug, and it came off in my hand as I pulled. Damn! I don't like saying that word. It's like a bad word. Dang! How am I going to find those Christmas lights now? I muttered under my breath as I threw the useless string off into some forsaken corner. I sighed and continued to shine the torch around, squinting to see in the dim light. You have a torch. Why are you squinting? As I ventured further into the attic, I felt the darkness curl around me, squeezing me in its grip. Just find the lights and straight out. Simple, I thought to myself, trying to shake the fear that was threatening to rise. I climbed around in the attic, checking every box for the lights, gripping the torch tightly in my hand. I continued to search through the boxes, finding nothing more than books, old furniture, and old diaries. At the top of a box of diaries was a book unlike any other I had ever seen before. The book was bound in dark, worn leather. My stomach churned as my fingers brushed its strange cover. I opened the first page. Written in large, manic scratches was one name. Laura Ward. I quickly scanned the other pages, holding my torch more closely than before. Each page was filled in the same scratches as before, each one seemingly written by some lunatic. I dropped the book back in the box and continued my search. Dust particles danced in my torchlight as I shone it around the room. As I ventured further into the recesses of the darkness, goosebumps began to appear on my arms. I shivered as something scuttled away in the darkness. I searched inside more boxes, only to find more papers and some sinister stuffed toys that looked decades old. Every minute I stayed in the attic, I became more desperate just to find the lights and get out of there. I shone my torch above me. On the shelves were more boxes. I sighed and put my torch awkwardly in my mouth before reaching up and lowering the first one down. The box was surprisingly light. I placed it on the floor and opened it up. I jumped back, dropping my torch. At the bottom of the box was a small heap of long blonde hair. I scrambled to pick up the torch once more, shining it in the box of hair. Why would you keep this? I muttered under my breath, disgusted. I placed the box back up on the shelf, now more desperate than ever to leave the attic. I composed myself and placed the torch back in my mouth, ready to reach for the next box. The box was a little heavier than the last and far less worn. I breathed a sigh of relief as I opened it up. I had found the lights. I lifted them onto the floor and rushed towards the door. In my rush, I tripped over a loose floorboard, the box flying out of my hands and the torch bouncing away under an old dresser. I sighed and lay on my stomach, peering underneath the dresser. The torchlight was faint. I reached under, feeling my way around. The floor underneath dipped. I'd have to move to recover the torch. I stood up, gripping the old dresser. I winced as I felt something crawl over my hand. The ancient furniture groaned as I strained to move it. Finally, I created enough space to squeeze through. I threw my arms out to steady myself as I almost fell down a hole. I peered into it. I could just make out the rungs of a ladder. Grasping the cold, hard metal rungs of the ladder, I wondered if retrieving the torch was worth it. The descent was short, and I was standing at the bottom. Picking up the torch, I began to climb back when I saw what looked to be a door on the wall. Letting go of the rung, I tentatively placed my hand on the doorknob. As I opened the door, a stagnant, stale smell erupted from the room behind. I held my breath and shone the torch into the lifeless room. I gasped, forcing the contents of my stomach back down. Inside the room was a decaying body of a small child. A girl, perhaps, judging by the decaying floral dress. Strapped into a chair in the center of the cramped room. I slammed the door and scrambled up the ladder, not even stopping to push the dresser back in place. I grabbed the Christmas lights and ran out of the attic, quickly closing the door behind me. I paused at the top of the stairway, unsure of how to face my grandmother. I slowly made my way to the kitchen with the lights. I placed them on the bench in front of her. "Thanks, dear," she said with a smile. "Your grandfather was always the one to go in the attic. Now he's gone," she paused. "Thank you for doing that for me." I nodded, unsure of what to say. She didn't know. All I was sure of is that I could never see my grandfather in the same way. And that is our last scary story. I think I was 15 for that one, so it was like a slight graduation from my 14-year-old stories. Slightly. But I'm gonna go try and find the real cringe now. The real spicy cringe. I think I have to find an unpublished book because this used to be published, but I unpublished it because I was so embarrassed. It's not. Oh, it's still published? What? Kill me flipping now. Oh no, it's in drafts. I was like, what? Okay. It's a zombie apocalypse book too. This is the good stuff. And by good stuff, I mean stuff that makes me want to die because it makes me physically ill. Ugh. Okay. I'm not reading the whole thing. I want to find the specific one that's... I think it's chapter 7 where there's disgusting kissing scenes. So let me try and get there. Yes, it's flipping chapter 7. I can't do it. I can't. Oh no. Okay. Alright, so the premise of this book, I actually do have a fully published book on Wattpad that I wrote when I was 14, which is about like a death game. It's so bad. It's fun to look back at, but it's so bad. This one is unpublished because I was so embarrassed by this one scene in particular. So basically, just to give you context, not that you really need it, but there were these two people, two best friends, and they were hanging out when the zombie apocalypse started. Avi and Mason. Mason's in love with Avi, but Avi doesn't know. Anyway, they were running out of food, so they went off on their own. But as they went off, they saw zombies devouring a mother, and they adopted this 4-year-old child who was in the middle of nowhere. They stumbled across a hotel, and it has solar power energy, everything's grand, and so they're starting a hotel for survivors of the zombie apocalypse. And one day, this guy, I don't remember his name, Dan. Okay, this guy called Dan rocks up at the doors of the hotel, and they invite him in. He's the first person to join their hotel. They give him a room, and what do you know? He's apparently very attractive, and Avi's into him, and Mason gets very jealous. But, okay, chapter 7 is called Him. I hate this so much. But I'll just, like, hide from the fact that I ever wrote this. Okay. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments. They're open. Maybe we can do a movie, TV show night of Squid Game. Oh, that could be fun. Okay. My chat broke for a second again, but it's back. I'm leaving the scary movie music on because this is truly horrifying, okay? It's scary. Okay. I'm gonna start at the beginning of the chapter so we can kind of ease into it. My footfalls echoed through the empty hall of one of the lower floors of the hotel. I went to this place when I was feeling overwhelmed or needed some space. The thick walls, meters above where the dead lurked below, made me feel safe, eased my mind, and finally let me sleep at night. I walked into one of the stairwells, running my fingers along the smooth white walls as I descended the stairs. My mind wandered as I aimlessly walked, eventually realizing I'd ended up in the lobby. Standing at a distance, I watched the dead stumble past through the glass doors. A shiver crawled down my spine, causing goosebumps to raise on my arms and neck. Hey, William Incubus. We're reading a cringe kissing scene I wrote at 14. Hang in there. for pain and agony. As I watched small groups of corpses... Oh, it's a zombie apocalypse, by the way. As I watched a small group of corpses pass, I felt a large hand lay itself on my shoulder. I moved as quickly as I dared without drawing attention to myself away from whatever touched me. Turning around and realizing it was only Dan, I smiled, a tense breath leaving my lips. Oh, a bedtime story. I know. Come for bedtime stories. Motioning for him to follow, he walked into the lift before holding the door open for me. Silence hung thick in the air as I made my way into the lift, doors closing behind me. I'm sorry, I'm getting scared. Hey, no scope the Pope. Welcome. I feel like I should explain every time, but we're reading intense kissing scene I wrote at 14 that makes me want to die. Welcome. Thank you so much for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day, Johnny. Okay. Silence returned again, but this time it was soft, almost comforting. I gazed into Dan's eyes, thinking back to when I had first met him. He cleaned up well. Despite the fact he was a masterpiece, but he was still covered in dirt. He ran his hair through his fingers, causing butterflies to parade in my stomach. It didn't help that the haircut I gave him made him look even better. I could feel the tension in the air as we walked towards his hotel room to chat, like we often did in the afternoons. When we were seated, Dan broke the silence. Mason and I have almost finished the plans for the wall. We should be able to start building soon. We talked and joked for hours, telling stories before all of this. But before all... What? Telling stories from before all of this. Until I finally got up to leave. Dan hugged me goodbye, and I went to the lift. Punching in the code, I arrived at our room, where Mason was just finishing tucking Hope into bed. I'm so sorry, I said guiltily at the fact that I missed putting Hope to bed. I got a bit carried away, lost track of time. It's fine, Mason said flatly, not even making eye contact with me. I raised an eyebrow. I knew Mason well enough to know something was wrong. What's up? I asked, placing my hand gently on his shoulder. He shook me off, mumbling, It's nothing. He walked away. I lay on my bed, wondered what he could possibly be upset about. I decided that maybe he just had a bad day, or maybe he was stuck on the wall plans. Either way, it could not possibly have been my fault. Oh, it's coming, Chloe. Oh, the kissing's coming. Oh. Hi. Good morning, I called to Mason, who had just emerged into the penthouse's common room. His hair was ruffled, hanging at weird angles. His eyes squinted at me sleepily. Hope sat on one of the wooden chairs, swinging her legs. Did you sleep bad? She asked as she bit down into one of her last muesli bars. Mason mumbled something, moving to the table and sitting down before placing his head in his hand. I placed a gentle hand on his back, feeling the soft rise and fall of his shallow breaths. You should probably get some sleep. The place is pretty quiet without many people. Plus, the wall can wait, I said, giving his shoulder a soft squeeze. Dan, Hope, and I will manage just fine. Mason mumbled something else under his breath before standing up and facing me. I buried my face in his neck, and he wrapped his big arms around me. Don't forget me. In this crazy world. Just don't. He whispered into my ear before releasing me and practically stumbling back into his bedroom. You're without a doubt a talented writer since you do cringe a lot reading your own work. I smiled. Mason was always so strange when he was tired. You want to come down today? I asked, turning to face Hope. She shook her head. I want to play with my dolly. Giving her a hug, I walked into the elevator. I punched the button for Dan's floor, hoping that someone around this place was willing to talk, or at least just sit with me in silence. Walking up to his door, I gave a short knock before waiting in silence, wondering if he was awake. Soon, I was able to hear footfalls behind me. Soon I was able to hear footfalls behind the door, and a groggy-looking Dan appeared. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were asleep, I said, backing away. Nah, it's fine. He said, sorry. No, it's fine. His voice deep and husky from just having woken up. cringe stories. Now someone drop us a follow. Thank you, No Scope the Pope. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. He opened the door fully and motioned for me to come inside. Curling my legs up underneath me. I'm not doing that. I snuggled down into the lounge opposite him. He ran his hands through his hair before we began to talk. The conversation bounced back and forth for hours until... Who are you? Good night, number 2. The conversation bounced back and forth for hours until it was late in the afternoon. I stood up to move the plate of my slightly mushy orange peels from the oranges that we had appropriated from the fruit bowl in the kitchen. As I returned, I noticed that Dan had stood up and was waiting for me, leaning against one of the walls. Is everything alright? I asked, the confusion evident in my voice. I just need to do something. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. I opened my Amar. I can do it. I opened my mouth to ask him what he was doing, but before I managed to get any words out, his soft lips met mine. I slowly relaxed into his embrace, wrapping my arms around him, and slowly moving my lips to the rhythm of his. He ran his hand up my side, causing shivers to plummet down my spine, igniting fireworks in my stomach. After a minute, we pulled our lips apart, not separating our embrace. I stared deep into his eyes, which were alight with excitement. I'm glad you feel the same way, he said, his lips morphing into a grin. So am I said, running my fingertips along his forearm. This is where it gets real bad. A fruit bowl in the apocalypse? How interesting. Before I knew what happened, he had picked me up. I wrapped my legs around his waist, biting my lip to try and ease the crazy grin spreading across my face. Dan walked us over to the couch and sat down, causing me to be sitting on his lap facing him. Reaching his hand out, he cupped my face, pulling it closer to his. Our lips met once again, but this time with far more force and desperation than before. As the shivers ran down the back of my neck, I wondered how, in this crazy, crazy world, something like this could ever happen. And it goes on from there, but that is the bit that you guys are here for, let's be honest. That is the horrific bit that you guys needed. I'm scarred. I'm sorry. Oh no. Oh! I found a diary. Do you want to read my 14-year-old diary? Don't stop now, I'm invested emotionally now. This may feel cringe to you, but it's certainly well written. Well, thank you very much. When I was a kid, I definitely wanted to be like the youngest author of a book trilogy, and I never did the book thing. Hey, MC Joker! But writing was my passion for a few years there, which is why I have so many online books published under an alias from when I was 14 years old. Like, writing was gonna be my thing. This is my diary from when I was 14 or 15. I think it's 15. My 15-year-old diary. Monday, Mondays are never fun. You drag yourself out of bed and head off to school, not really wanting to go, wishing for another day of the weekend. Now, this particular Monday morning, I woke to a message from one of my guy friends from rock climbing saying that because he missed my birthday, because he was England, he got me something there and was wondering if I was coming to climbing. I was. Now, this all seems unimportant and perhaps a tad boring. Yes, it does, Matisse. Yes, it does. But it is an event in a chain of events with these two guys. The guy from climbing. We go climbing together. He has asked me out, but I couldn't because I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend at all at that age. I can now. And he's literally the sweetest person ever. The guy from church. We go to church together. He said out of nowhere that he doesn't know what he wants. He's interested in me, but he's not sure if he wants a girlfriend. He's nice. I've been texting them for a while now. I wanted to be a writer too. I only manage short form works though. Nice. And maybe I'll get into like my full book that's still published at one point. It's so bad. Anyway, I went to school, blah blah blah, and then after that I went to my vocal lessons and then to climbing. I climbed with my usual Monday climbing partner Lara, getting back into the swing of things after the Christmas holidays. He handed me a wrapped card. When I opened it, I got home. It was books from the British Museum. Actually, I can hand you. Hold up. Which one is it? I swear it's there somewhere. Ah! Okay. I can't find it, but I thought it was there. All in all, I had a rather good day. Until I looked over toward my lolly tin and I saw ants. I hate ants. They get into everything. I live on 5 acres, so we have a lot of ants all over the place. But the blooming ants got in the tin. They have never done that before. It was really annoying. I had to sacrifice my jelly beans my dad got me from America. I ended up drowning the ants. Ants always create a problem for me. I hate how they're just everywhere. I hate how they are so hard to kill. There are always a few leftovers crawling around looking for more ways. So I've come up with a list of helpful ways to kill ants. Probably not 100 though, that's hard. 1. Perhaps the most obvious, ant killer / poison. 2. Drowning. 3. Burning. 4. Boiling. 5. Squashing. 6. Eating, if you're into that stuff. 7. Electrocuting with one of those bug zapper thingies. 8. Suffocating. 9. Freezing. 10. Starving. 11. It's moments like this that make me wonder, what am I doing with my life? I'm wondering too, young me. I'm wondering too. Bruh, did you drown ants? What a sadistic 14. They were eating my lollies. That's rude. Where is a really angsty diary entry? Oh, there's one called Accidentally in Love. So the past few days have been normal, boring, mundane, but I'll describe them quickly. Saturday, youth group beach day. That was alright. I had to sit next to the guy from church, see first chapter, on the bus, which was awkward. I'm sick of everyone being like, ooh, do you like him? Ooh, when are you gonna get together? I don't like him. At the moment, I'm honestly sick of him. I guess that's not his fault though. Sunday, nothing. Monday, went to climbing as normal, but the guy from climbing was not there. That's okay though. Also, I forgot to say, I'm not using names in this to protect people's privacy, but mostly because I don't want someone I know or someone mentioned in the book to stumble upon this and embarrass me. I've had some excellent kissing advice from one of my friends, Not. She said this, and I quote, "Don't eat him, he's not food." Oh, this is so ridiculous. I just want to know why. I just want to know, is this angsty? No. It's like a weekly journal of a 14-year-old and it is horrific. is called plant genitals, otherwise known as flowers. Ugh, it's our school's Valentine's Day. It's worse than the actual Valentine's Day. As I walk around school trying to avoid stepping on the blooming rose petals that are everywhere, I can't help but count down the hours until I get to go home. You might be wondering why I hate Valentine's Day so much, and I'm not really sure. It might be because I use all my festivity up at Christmas, which is the best time of year. Or because I never get anything. Or who knows? Maybe I will, like, someday. I probably won't. It's just an excuse for... Anyway, it's just an excuse for flower prices to go up. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't in a mood. It's the most 14-year-old thing I've ever heard. Yay, back from school. No more Valentine's Day until Sunday. Ugh, that feeling when you shave your legs after not doing so in ages and you get into bed. It's been sort of a nothing day. My youth group has beach day tomorrow, that'll be interesting. I have to admit though, I love the discounts on romantic movies on Apple TV. What do you mean? You've never bought anything in your life. You're 14. Shut up. What the heck? Oh. Made a finish cleaning it on the couch. Awesome. You missed the worst thing I've ever done, and I'm kind of glad because it was heckin' embarrassing. Hey Wilson. Wilson was at this stream this time last year. I'm not sure what's better, the absolute cringe or the hand talking. Anyone got clips? I read the kissing scene that I wrote at 14. It was so good. I wonder if there's another... I'm just trying to find another really sassy diary entry. It's just... finally? What's finally? Oh! This is 2016. So this is me as a 16-year-old. Alright, guys? That scene, pure gold. Oh. Had you kissed at the point or just imaginary? I haven't kissed at this point. Everything is just imaginary. I don't even know if I was correct. I could be. Probably not. Okay, so we've heard that story about that guy that asked me to his formal and then told me to pay for the tickets and buy them myself. This was my reaction at 16 to that. So instead of just getting the story secondhand from me, you can get it from the mouth of my 16-year-old self. Hey, oh, sorry. Here's a fun story that's been going on the last couple of days. First of all, let's take this back to February, where a guy from my church, the one previously mentioned, asked if he could have the privilege of my company at his formal in the year over text. I said okay, and that brings us to this past week. I recently got a message from him with the formal details. I asked if he had sorted payment and stuff, and he goes, I think every attendee does it for themselves. Which I was not impressed with, because he was expecting me to pay to go to a formal, which was not even from my school. I'd have to buy a ticket, which was $104 per person, might I add. Buy a dress, get my hair done, etc. to hang out with people that I don't even know. I was willing to maybe let that slide, and so asked if he wanted to come if he wanted me to come and give him the money on Sunday at church, which he said that I need to not only pay but follow the link and order it myself. Needless to say, my parents, grandparents and friends were not impressed. But joke's on him, because now the school captain is going alone to the formal. On a different note, I saw Vance Joy on the 25th of April. He was amazing and actually so adorable. It was great. Thank you very much. Bro, well, I wasn't allowed to invite other people from schools to my formal. I was robbed. I didn't even get a formal. I was robbed. We were told absolutely no leaving your seats unless it is to take photos or go to the bathroom. No dancing. No, like, we got to wear formal dresses, but it was like, I don't know, I've forgotten the word for it, let's be honest. It was a dinner with your parents. So we didn't actually have a formal. Everyone called it formal, but it was actually just a fancy dinner with your parents. I went to after party though. That was okay. My friend's girlfriend felt me up on the thigh, and I was like, dude, she is right there. Knock yourself off. But yeah. Oh. So much drama. That's why never read a diary from when you... I have another diary. Hold up. I wonder if it's still in my drawer. Okay, I found my actual 14-year-old diary. Oh my goodness. I have my 17-year-old diary somewhere. Hold up, let me rename the title to... Alright. Oh, damn. Okay. Also cute pages, thank you! They have Snoopy on them, and Woodstock, and Pockets. They're from Peter Alexander, very cool. I've been waiting, like, my other favourite pair of pajamas. Actually, hold up, they're still in my dirty clothes basket, I can show you. Oh, this is harder to get than I thought. I've committed now. Yeah. These are my other ones. They're super cute and super comfy. Also from Peter Alexander. And I've been waiting a whole year for them to come out with Snoopy ones again. Why do they have pockets? What possible needs are their pockets at bedtime? Putting your phone when you need to go to the bathroom? What's up, big dog? Nothing much, what's up with you? I can't speak anymore, apparently. Okay. Are you guys prepared? We're gonna get comfortable for this. We're reading... I should get my other diary while I'm here. Oh. Just... embarrassing garbage. Okay, get prepared.